I didn't smoke much pot in the Navy, but you got it. I did 17 months in Southeast Asia, and so it was pretty hard to avoid it over there on occasion. And the good thing about the military back in the early 70s, they didn't drug test for marijuana.
Does anybody know when that started?
I never was subjected because it's an awful test because you'll test positive, a week later, right, Doc?
Yep, even up to a month,
Yeah, and you're not affected by it anymore. That's why it's a phony test. Right. If they're going to test, they need something that would test it immediately.
Exactly.
Not something that where it sits in your fat cells and you test positive 3 weeks later. Well, you're hardly high 3 weeks later, And so I didn't do much, but where I did do it was wrestling.
Okay.
Why? Because I can tell you, there was a time in my wrestling career, I wrestled 63 consecutive days in a row.
Oh, just for recovery then.
Yeah, anti-inflammation.
63 days in a row. Well, here was what I'd do. I'd wrestle. Generally, you're spending the night in a hotel. I'd go to the hotel. I'd smoke a joint. I'd order room service, which it always makes it better. Makes hotel food better, even though it may be good to begin with, but this made sure it was good. And then what it did, when it would start wearing down, I would get a full night's sleep. Yeah. And so I could wake up the next day, go to the airport, fly to the next city, go to the gym, work out, and repeat the whole thing over again. So I will unequivocally tell you that I used marijuana a great deal when I wrestled, and I had to hide it. I mean, if I got busted with it, I'd go, and I went through airports and all that stuff, and this and that. But you know what the great thing about marijuana was?
It's everywhere.
And users can tell other users.
Oh,
From
yeah.
a mile away.
And users
knows.
help out other people. One time I was doing a press junket out in New York for something, and I had a friend I had met back here, I had met him in Colorado because he used to go to Colorado to get it, and he lived in New York. And he walked up to me at the press junket when no one was watching, and he slipped 2 joints in my hand, and he said, "Here, I know you're flying around. I thought you might need these for tonight."
What a great gift.
But I mean, and I thought, thank you. Because, there's nothing better than after a long day's work, to kick back.
Is that still your preferred way of consumption, is a nice joint?
Yeah, I think so, because I've tried edibles, and here's my problem with edibles. I tend to wake up in the middle of the night with some nightmares.
Oh, no.
From them.
So that's time to stop. Don't do that.
I get these dreams in the middle of the night, and I generally end up in a fight, and I'm swinging and fighting because my poor wife wakes up in terror because she thinks that one of the punches may come her way.